Hello, and good morning. It is really nice and sunny today. It's only 10 o'clock in the morning, but it rained all afternoon yesterday. Oh my god! The 10 is just coming in on me. The wind is so bad. Me and Brian just got up and got ready, made the bed in the tent, set up. I think our plan for today is to just hang out here in the tent. Brian's stretching, doing some morning yoga.
Well, this is the sensational case of Gabby Petito, 22 years old. We don't know where she is. If you or anyone you know has information where Gabby is, please contact law enforcement authorities. It is a big investigation that's going on right now. She was on a cross-country trip with her quote-unquote fiancé/boyfriend, Brian Laundrie. They had been gone for a couple months. She was doing video blogging and a lot of text messaging during that period of time from July until August. And she was reported missing by her family on September 11th. The police are now saying that Laundrie, the fiancé boyfriend, is now a person of interest. There has been no body found. She has not been found, whether she's alive or not. And right now, we are looking at a situation in which obviously a family is upset. They have an attorney. The attorney has been making a lot of public statements about this case. I want to bring in my good friend, Mike Corbanix, New Jersey Supreme Court certified criminal trial attorney and law and crime legal analyst. Mike, what strikes me about this from the beginning, and as you know, my skill set is in homicide investigations and homicide cases, is if I were the prosecutor, my brain would be exploding right now that there is a lawyer for the family that is out there excoriating the fiance, Brian Laundrie, calling him basically a person of interest, as the police did, which for the life of me, I don't get, saying that he should speak to the police because he has, quote unquote, some people use the term lawyered up. But I don't see it that way, Mike. He's being forced to do that. And anybody that would go to any competent criminal defense attorney like yourself would tell him, look, I know you want to help, but you know what? Under these circumstances, they're telling you you're a person of interest. You got a lawyer yelling and screaming out there saying that you should be cooperating and you may be involved, so you have to remain silent. I'm not saying he didn't do it. I'm not saying that he did do it. But as a prosecutor, I want to be able to go easy. I want to give him an incentive. I want to be able to say, hey, come on, do the right thing. But basically, the door has been shut, and that is a big mistake already. Mike Corbanix, what do you think?
I agree more with you. I mean, we started out as prosecutors together. I'm very surprised that a lawyer for a victim would be getting ahead of, for lack of a better term, he's getting ahead of the prosecution. Like you said, Bob, the prosecution is investigating the case. The worst thing they could do is, from the prosecutor's point of view, is push towards this person of interest who may say some very helpful things, and then down the line, I mean, this is a court of law. It's not being in public or at a bar where people could talk. Is down the line, any of that evidence could become useless if they found his constitutional rights were violated.
Yeah, Mike, I want to try to go deeper into this just because it just bothers me as a person that's investigating these cases. It's your job as an investigator to get the defendant to talk. Or if the defendant doesn't want to talk, hopefully they'll reinitiate with police. And a lot of times, if you're the boyfriend or girlfriend, or if you're the spouse, they feel that they have to speak. Otherwise, it'll look suspicious that they're not trying to help, find the person. And you're exactly correct. As that's happening, all sorts of other things are going on that investigators are doing tips and leads, and they're going through phones and forensics and going through the van, and they're doing a social history and a personal history. And they're trying to see whether or not the person of interest that in their mind, this boyfriend, I guess, because they're saying he is a person of interest, whether or not he says something that's inconsistent with the information that they're getting. And then, just like the case that we just discussed with Mr. Ford, you confront that person eventually with that information to see if you get a confession. Those are the ABCs of how to go about this. Talk to us, Mike, about how difficult it is to prove a case when you don't have a, look, we don't know whether, hopefully she is fine. We don't know. But if she is not, how difficult is it to prove a case without a body and without a statement from a defendant?
Extremely difficult. extremely difficult, but it's not as difficult as it was. And when I say that, Bob, is when we started out in this, there wasn't technology, quite frankly. There wasn't videotapes all over the place.
Yeah, we had a fight to get DNA.
That's correct. That's right. You really had to have a real strong case to really show a strong need for it. But today it's so simple, like you said. Just go into somebody's phone, go into the iCloud for a phone, and you could really get basically every step of that person took that day. So I think with an investigation like this, like you said, you have to start with a foundation, slowly build it. If they go right ahead and start pressuring people to talk, they could be led down the wrong road and could lose valuable information.
Yeah, Mike, but the other thing is, especially if you don't have a body, and it just brings back to Durst, is, the prosecutor has to prove beyond the reasonable doubt that the cause and manner of death was homicide. So even the mere fact that maybe they get some forensic evidence from the van that they were using or whatever, it doesn't necessarily mean it wasn't an accident, it wasn't a suicide, it wasn't a medical event. So finding that body is crucial in terms of the body tells you so much of a story. What do you think investigators are doing right now in terms of trying to locate where this young lady is?
I think right now they've probably realized and they know that talking to the person of interest is no longer a viable option because it's come to light so early in the case that basically he has and he should lawyer up. He should get a good criminal defense attorney. The other attorney for the victim's family has called them out. So that has really become a focus here. What I think the investigation needs to do is basically, Bob, like we always say, go back to basics, start from the beginning. When was the last time? Start with her cell phone. Where and when did that last give a signal? I think it's very helpful for this investigation that she was blogging and giving these daily, updates on their travels. And I think that's where you start and eventually lead.
Yeah, well, if anybody, again, has information with regard to anything about this case, they should reach out to law enforcement authorities. You can't underestimate, as a former law enforcement officer, the importance that the public plays in helping us at the time assist in cases like this.
Hi, this is Dan Abrams with exciting news for all of our Law and Crime followers on YouTube. You can now get the live Law and Crime Network with YouTube TV for all of your daily live trial coverage, legal news, expert analysis, and original true crime programs. Subscribe to YouTube TV today and then locate Law and Crime in the channel guide. And for only $1.99 a month, you can add the network to your bundle. Watch Law and Crime every day with YouTube TV. We put you in the jury box.